I messed up. I should have started with this. 4 names: David Yu, Daniel Crothers, Alfred Khan, Jeremy Padawa. I'm about to blow your mind. What's going on, people? Welcome back to Sam's Pokedex. We ain't opening packs today. We're about to drop some knowledge. Still good, right? Okay, the first thing I want to say is, when you're excited about something and you want to share it with the world, not everyone's going to listen to you because they don't understand where you're coming from. And I kind of picked that up now, looking back at what I've done. So let me explain to you why I was so excited about Veve. Doing this research has got me even more excited, and let me break it down to you why. So we're going to start off with Daniel Crothers. He's the co-founder and CEO of Ecomi and Veve. Now he's the tech guy behind how this all works, the blockchain and the cryptocurrencies. So a bit of a backstory on him. He started his career in web and software development. He did really well, worked with some major brands, helped them grow their companies. In 2016, he heard about cryptocurrency and dived right in. Exactly what we're doing with Veve, but he done it in 2016 with crypto. Then in 2017, he started out as a day trader, and the whole year just started day trading. And then he saw where this was going. So then he had a vision and he started aligning himself with certain cryptocurrencies. And all of a sudden, he 10x'd their profiles. So he kind of knows what he's doing, guys. Remember, he's tech savvy. He's been around the block. So he's their trial and errors. He can just share those with other companies. And I guess he's doing that now with his own company. Next, we have David Yu, co-founder and CEO of Veve. So let me tell you a bit about David's story. David, I'm calling him first name basically like I know him. So he was a stamp collector growing up. Ain't that exciting to some of us, but the story does get better. He's very entrepreneurial. I heard many stories about him. Here's 1 or 2 that I really liked. So he used to go around to souvenir shops and have a little pop-up shop and have a stand of stamps, and there he would just sell them in different shops. So at the end of the day, he would half the profit with the store, and with the money he made, he'd continue his collecting journey. So one of the things he did was he saved some of his money up. I think he had like $1,700, and there was a comic book store where he lives in New Zealand called Mark 1 Comics. So that store went bankrupt, and their distributor, Unicorn Distribution, was selling all the goods. So they were having like an auction of all the stuff left over. He went over and said, "Oh, I've got this much money, what can I get?" They said, "Oh, there's 6-7 boxes over there, grab them, take them, whatever." He didn't even know what was in these boxes. He didn't even drive. So he got a taxi cab and he drove back to his parents with these boxes, opened them up, and he found Star Wars, Star Trek, Looney Tunes, good stuff. So then he went to a souvenir shop and that guy looked at all the stuff and gave him $6,000. So the guy like 3-4x straight away. So what did he do with that $6,000? The same thing we would all do. He went back to the distributor and said, "I've got 6,000 now, what can I get?" They gave him more boxes, which was great, and he took them back to his parents' house. But this time when he opened them, it was a bit of a shock. He had Warhammer, Dungeons and Dragons, roleplay books, nothing great that wouldn't sell, so he's kind of stuck with this stuff. Then a short while later, he opened his own store. So I think that's when David got really into collecting, and now he's like the biggest collector of everything. I heard he's got Pop Funko, comics, books, whiskies, all the rare Pokemon cards, all the rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards, the Magic cards. He was actually the first person to distribute Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh in New Zealand. So he's the one that fed everyone those cards. Imagine that. And for that store, he needed a website made. Enter Daniel Crothers. I've already told you before that he was in the web development industry. So he helped David build a website for his store. Now, David didn't have enough money to pay Daniel. So he said, "Can I pay you half the money and the other half for you take from my store in board games and toys?" And Daniel accepted, and ever since that day, they've remained really good friends. So David established himself and Daniel established himself. So they were both doing really well in their journeys. So over the years, they probably shared a lot of ideas together and we're always on the same page. Fast forward a few years, 2018, Ecomi was born. Then comes Veve. Now you got to think about it. They had an idea, they both had the vision, now they wanted to execute it, now they needed a team. Next we have Jeremy Padawa. A little bit about him, he's a global toy maker. So he's been there, done that. He's made toys for Pokemon, Fortnite, so many other brands. A little story about him. Straight after university, I think it was 2001, he got a job with Mattel and he managed Hot Wheels and Nickelodeon. It's pretty big. After that in 2003, he moved to a company called Jakks Pacific, and one of the things he did in there was reinvent the whole WWE wrestling line of toys. It's mad, that's crazy. You remember all those toys you played with as a kid? Not only that, he launched over 25 other brands: Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Neopets, SpongeBob SquarePants, UFC. You know where this is going? They've picked the right people to execute their vision. And now finally we have Alfred Khan. Now this guy is just straight up G. I didn't know about this guy until I done my research, and I didn't realize how influential this guy was in my life, and many of yours, you're about to find out. So a bit of a backstory about Alfred Khan. In the early 80s, he worked for a company that would tell him to go around the world and look at other toys, because he was a kid's toy buyer back then. So a few years later, he joined a company called Calico Industries, and in the 80s, he was recruited to head up the gaming industry of that time. So he went to Japan, rubbed shoulders with the big boys, became friendly with a lot of people, one of them being Nintendo. A few years later, he started his own company called 4Kids Entertainment. He got his first client, no one big, just someone called Nintendo. Nintendo as your first client. Like, I was like, what? I do not know about this guy. What's going on? So his first client, Nintendo, gave him all the rights to licensing. That's crazy. Now here's where it gets interesting. So he would go to Japan once a month or once every 3 weeks to go see what's going on and keep in touch with his clients, obviously. So he's walking down the street and he sees these kids running around playing this game with cards and stuff, and he's like, what's going on here? What's going on? What are they playing? What's going on? He doesn't speak Japanese, so the translator breaks it down to him. Are they playing this game? This is how we play it, and it's called Pocket Monsters. You know I'm going for this, right? So he was very interested in that, and he's like, oh wow, this sounds really cool. Who owns this Pocket Monsters? Who else? Nintendo. Okay, so he starts chatting to Nintendo about Pocket Monsters, this and that. So about after a year of negotiations, they gave in and they gave him all the rights to Pocket Monsters outside of Asia. First thing he did was obviously bring it back to America, change the name to Pokemon. That's how we all know it now. Doo-doo. So then he made a plan for the toys, and he even got involved in the TV show and stuff. So he did all of that. That's crazy, right? So now he's also got these rights to this card distribution, and he's thinking, who's a card distributor? Now he gets an email from someone saying, hi Alfred, I would like to distribute Pokemon cards in New Zealand. Guess who that guy was? David Yu. Back then, apparently David was like 17, 18. He got the rights to distribute Pokemon cards in New Zealand through Alfred Khan, so they already had a strong connection many years ago. Another thing he did was, he found out wrestling, WWF I'm talking about back then, had no licensing for their toys. So he called up Vince McMahon like, yo, let's get this ball rolling. That's how casual it was for him and how well known he is in the industry. So he can knock on doors, guys. You see where we're going with this? He's brought a lot more brands over that I can't think of right now, but he's introduced us to so many things growing up as kids, and he's still so influential in this industry. So I'm going to leave you with one quote or one fact that Alfred Khan said himself. He said he's personally been a part of 6 out of 10 of the successes in the kids industry. And he goes, he will be a part of 7, which will be Veve. Mic drop. I ain't going to drop that mic. I paid for it. If I break it, I'll buy it. I ain't got money to buy a new one. So that's my take on Veve. For all you people that have asked me, oh, why would it do so well? How come someone else can't do it and blah, blah, blah. Maybe they can, maybe somebody else will try. But look at the people that they've got backing them right now. And also, if you think about it, Disney is a billion-dollar industry. They could probably do this themselves. Why would they go to Veve and ask them to do it? Not even ask them, but give them the rights to do it. There's got to be something that they see that we aren't seeing. Or maybe some of us are seeing that a lot of you should start seeing now, because it's happening all around us. Now, if you piece everything together, this is like a thing that was meant to happen. All these people somehow met in their life, and now they're working together on something really big called Veve. I'm just here to drop some knowledge. You guys go away and do your own research. You'll probably find out way more other things that interest you about this. Thank you for watching. If any of the information I provided has been useful, please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, leave a like. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon at Sam's Pokédex. Peace.